In 2016, Michigan voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first.
My campaign is a broad coalition, welcomes Democrats, Republicans, and independents. I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I will govern as an American president. I'll work as hard for those who don't support me as those who do. In my administration, there'll be no red states or blue states, just the United States of America.
Well, the president and former vice president on the campaign trail, as you look at the map where they've been, where they're going. President in Waterford Township, Michigan, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we just showed you Air Force One, Rochester, Minnesota. Biden in Des Moines, Iowa, St. Paul, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin in a bit. Vice President Pence in Flagstaff, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, and Senator Harris in Fort Worth, Texas, McAllen, Texas, and Houston, Texas. Today and tonight. Let's bring in our panel. Charlie Hurt, opinion editor for The Washington Times. Leslie Marshall, Democratic strategist, and Bill McGurn, columnist for The Wall Street Journal. Charlie, where do you see this, the closing days, the final Friday before Election Day?
Well, it's 2020, so I guess it's only fitting that it has to be the craziest election I've ever seen. You know, you go out there, out in the country, and you see more enthusiasm for Donald Trump than I've ever seen for any political candidate for any office anywhere. It even eclipses what we saw 4 years ago, and it was pretty crazy 4 years ago. And then you look at these polls, and you see polls that suggest that President Trump is going to lose states that he won by 10 points 4 years ago, albeit they're conducted by pollsters who got it disastrously wrong 4 years ago. So it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where we are, but I do feel pretty confident about one thing. We're also seeing a media behaving unlike we've ever seen in a political campaign. They have thrown everything they can at this president for 4 years, and they're doing it still now. They're refusing to cover certain very, very important issues with Joe Biden. And I think that if it weren't for that, I would say President Trump would be up by 15 points.
I think your camera's tilting up, too. I mean, it's a giant problem here.
There we go.
No, I'm kidding. Leslie, let me ask you about our new poll. We had it 8 points. I want to go to a couple other poll points. Fox Poll 3, guys in the control room, describe the vote for president, for your candidate or against the other person. And if you look at the breakdown, Biden supporters and Trump supporters, Biden supporters for the candidate, 57%, against President Trump, 41%. And there you see the split for Trump supporters, 80-18. And then Fox Poll 4 is if voting today, your choice, whether it's Biden or Trump. And you can see that the breakout is a little bit more in-person voters for Republicans. And I guess that's the fear of Democrats, is not knowing what the electorate looks like on Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. And I would have to, I'll only agree with Charlie a little bit, which is it's 2020. Look, when you, this is not going to be a landslide for anybody, right? I mean, this is going to be very tight. I love the map that you just showed, Brett, because visual aids are helpful to everyone, myself included. And we see how some states really could go either way. Virtual ties, though, in states like Texas, Georgia, where Joe Biden is leading right now, simply unheard of if the polls could be trusted. So let's look at numbers that can be trusted. Right now, Democrats have been outperforming in early voting Republicans, but Republicans are catching up. Young people are voting state by state in numbers like never before, especially like North Carolina and Florida. But Joe Biden is not seeing the numbers that Hillary Clinton saw in 2016 so far with Hispanics and African Americans. That's worrisome to Democrats. Donald Trump is not seeing the numbers that he saw in 2016 with women or with older people. So honestly, I'm not going to Vegas either way. These nails are going to be gone next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and it's going to be very close.
Yeah. Bill, a lot of times you can tell where campaigns are focused by where they go. If you look at the Trump team just put out moments ago their schedule for the weekend, and we'll just take a quick bounce around here. Rallies on Saturday, 4 stops in Pennsylvania on Saturday for the president. And then on Sunday, Michigan, Iowa, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. And then Monday, North Carolina, Pennsylvania again, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Michigan. A lot of stops, and we don't have the Biden schedule as of yet, but it seems like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and shoring up Georgia is on the mind of the Trump campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, a lot of people make fun of the president's rallies, but I think they're very important. When a president lands in a town, it's a big deal with Air Force One, and I think it's one of the keys to his strength. I agree with Leslie that this is going to be a close election. It's why I look at some of these polls, like there's a poll about Wisconsin that I think had Joe Biden up 17 points. I think that's absurd. It's not going to be that high. If there's a surprise showing where really big numbers, I think the surprise would be Donald Trump. I also agree with that. Leslie was mentioning the old seniors. I'm a senior now, so I can say that. Seniors and young people. But one of the differences is the seniors have soured on President Trump a little bit over COVID. They're nervous about it. But a lot of the young people, I'm hearing from some pollsters that there is a surge. And a lot of them are more for Trump because they don't want the economy locked down. They want to go to their colleges. They want to get their jobs. They're not feeling as vulnerable as, say, old people. So I think it's very, very competitive. The last time around, they missed a lot of Trump voters in the polling.
So this is a time where I can just pull it out of you guys, and we go to a place called Canada Casino, and you have $100 in chips. You have to spend them. $100. How are you spending it? Charlie Hurt.
All in on red.
You've got
Trump.
one black chip. That's the first black chip that we've seen. And the dealer acknowledges your black chip on Trump. Leslie Marshall.
$60 for Biden, 40 for Trump.
Okay. Interesting split, 60-40. All right, Bill, round us out.
Okay, well, I love Candidate Casino because it's actually your chips, right? You're giving us. So there's not much risk there. I'm 75 for Trump. So I'm willing to go. I'm 75 for Trump and 25 for Biden.
Okay, guys, the bets are going to come to an end. I think Monday is our last time in the casino before Tuesday. So
right?
Thank you all. And we still get free drinks. That's right. Tip your waiters and waitresses. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.